directly to New Orleans, not by way of Haiti, which is mistakenly written.
Maybe.
Loads that were brought with them, some of the old ones and some new ones that were created here, and then different people coming in later adding things to it. But New Orleans has its own traditions, so kind of the base of that.
What would you specifically call what you do?
Voodoo.
Voodoo. Not voodoo.
Right.
Or
I mean,
both.
people that need to separate it into it. I mean, it's both, I guess. But voodoo is voodoo. As I said here, it's kind of blended and intertwined. But those people that want to make a differentiation, will say, oh, voodoo's this and voodoo's that. But it's really, I always say you can practice hoodoo without voodoo, but not voodoo without hoodoo. So, so there's a lot of people that only know about a doll or a gree bag, and they're not initiated into a religion to have given a met-tep, which is like a patron saint, to honor and learn how to do the ceremonial aspects. There's the physical aspects that are out and about, but that's all they know.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just do hoodoo, you probably just do hoodoo, and you're not necessarily in a religious aspect or a church or a family. But I am both.
Okay.
So I'm voodoo queen in New Orleans tradition. I'm voodoo mambo asagwe in Haitian tradition, as well as do the healing. It's also a traiteur. The traiteur means to treat. It's a healer. So in Haiti, as well as here, those words were used. So I'm a traiteur, though I don't do as much as the physical as I do the emotional and the energy. And I do physical too. Do a lot of cancer healing and stuff like that. So yeah, I do both. But I'm not going to give you an herb and blend it up and tell you to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm going to do something as a spirit aspect to keep it. Just even though they did both a long time ago, that's where the problem came with the FDA. That when the split came with, now you have to be a pharmacist. So we shouldn't be. I won't be prescribing, but I might give you a ritual bath.
Okay.
I might give you tell you to bathe in these salts, or I might give you a pouch to carry. But I'm not going to administer drugs to you physically to ingest. But I'll say, you might go get some. Take some chamomile, to calm you down. I will tell you and you will go get it, but I won't administer that.
Okay.
So as the old days, till the turn of till after the Reconstruction of the Civil War, your voodoo priestess would have been giving you stuff to take.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they started splitting off things when things became more with licenses and stuff like that. So these days, it's not those kinds of potions, for just legal reasons. And most good priestesses would not tell you, don't even go to the doctor about it. Balance the physical with the spiritual. I would say stop taking all those damn antidepressants. Get your shit together. Because I don't believe in that and get off anything. I don't believe that ADD exists either. Don't take those things. I would try to make you get settled in that way, but I wouldn't say if they said you had cancer, don't take your medicines, or sorry, you got high blood pressure, forget that pill. I wouldn't do that. But I would suggest certain things that aren't really important to, try to cleanse naturally, But I would have prescription in the modern way, but I would make things. I've got the old time prescription pad. Cool.
Is that it?
Well, I have another question. Sorry.
It's all right.
So
You can email me stuff too. If
Okay.
something comes up later after we, do whatever we do.
So is each section, does it make it easier for the ancestral spirits to enter here? Is that why you have this set up?
The hearth is the home, and your ancestors are your home, so it's always a significant place to make any altar. But if you're having multiple altars, that would be an important place for that, because that's kind of considered the heart of the home. A hearth,
Okay.
like a kitchen is today,
Mm-hmm.
would have been the hearth in the old days. But a lot of times you want to be technical, and they'll try to say, keep the ancestors separate from the others because they might not come if they're there, and the Congo spirits might not like the Rada. But I don't find that to be necessarily true. It's kind of like this weird segregation that occurred after years went on, like, do this separate and do that separate. The dead are always, the Gedes or the family of the dead, and the ancestors are always supposed to come at the end of a ritual. Because they're a little more boisterous about it, and they might push the other ones away. So there's, orders of sometimes of how you call in spirits. But for me, since I'm a paranormal investigator and a ghost hunter and all these other kind of things, I work primarily, more than anything, with the ancestors and with the people that built the town. So, for me, it's very important to have my backup team behind me at all times because I run into all kinds out there.
So these are your ancestors.
My ancestors and my Voodoo family ancestors. So I've got my family, and friends.
Okay.
Not only, because I call them all your ancestors. You know, your best friend that died is still with you. Your dog. You know, I have so many people that call me and they dog grease. And, you know, they want to know their animals are still watching them. So I could have had like an animal bone up there. I don't, but I could have. I have a little area in the other room with, you know, one of my cat's bones and ashes, you know, in it. So you could incorporate that in there, but I just don't have it. But mainly so physical ancestors and friends, you know, on here, and then Voodoo friends and family over there, and I just switched it up like that. I had them all mixed up before. It doesn't matter. It's a place to feed them, and we feed the spirits. We give them, you know, they need sustenance and energy to come through. When you're calling them, light a candle, give them food. You know, it's part of bringing them through, giving them energy, and it gives them a focused place to get that strength if they're having trouble getting a message to you, a warning or something, because they have their own issues, you know, of what they can do. Some can only come in dreams, some can't even do that. Some might have to, you know, my mother might have to have my grandmother come give me the message, for example. Some are just more able to come through in a variety of ways. So each has their own way of communicating, and, you know, then the Loas might say, look, your ancestor's trying to come, if that comes in a dream. Dream vision and working while you're asleep is very important too. You know, so there's all kinds of ways, through dance, through music, through sleep, through creation, through whatever. You know, it's not one way. Each person would have their own way that the Loa, it's an active religion, meaning that the Loas, the saints, the spirits, still communicate directly with you, whether they jump in and dance through you, or whether they come to you in a dream, or whatever. It just depends. So you would be continuing. It's not like only those 2,000 years ago were allowed to talk to these spirits. You know, now you could still, and they could come say, you know, I don't like the way you did that, and I know they say to do it this way, but I want you over here. My mom came last week. And I had redone the top altar on All Saints Day on November 1st. And, you know, before that, for the 2 years that she did, she was like right in the middle in all of her pictures because she, you know, my mother, she died. And then I cleaned it up and I got this new mirror, and now she's kind of, you know, back in line with all the others. And it was like, a picture was like, nope. And I got a thing that was like, nope, she wants to be down here. So even though I put her down here with the spirits, that means she's no longer just an ancestor. She's part of the Gede family in Aloha now. She said, nope, time for me to move. So I got a picture of that, put in there, so I put that there.
Is this your mother?
Yeah.
Oh, she's beautiful.
So she wanted to move there, she goes there, you know. And if I got a dream that I get recipes in dreams, which is interesting. So if I'm going to do a particular ritual a few days before, I'll know what offerings to bring. I'll have to, this one wanted scallops with mushrooms. All right, I go to the store and buy scallops with mushrooms, make the dish, and he'll give it to him because that seemed to be what that particular ritual called for, and they'll let me know. Yeah, so I get recipes from them. And they're good, usually. I know my grandma was certainly a better cook than me, so yeah, it gotta be good. The whole concept of the ancestors are very important. You don't want the wisdom to die. You know, this bloodline memory in you, and that could be triggered from the physical connection or from an astral connection. There's a lot of reasons and ways it could work. And being that you don't have to convert from one religion to another to be Voodoo, I find spiritually that made more sense to me than one religion saying, only this way is right, only our way is right, the other people are wrong. This has been introduced to so many religions, being that it's considered the oldest religion in the world, that it embraced all the others. So it's got early Judaic thought, it's got early Christian thought, came here and blended immediately with the Native American Indian of the area. It blended with the typical religion, which I was brought up in, which was Catholicism. But all the European folk magics and the old religions from Europe also mixed in, so a bit of, if you want to call it witchcraft, or just the old religions. And there was Muslim inroads that were in Africa early, and some of that blended in. So, you honor all of the deities or prophets in all of the ones. And, you can throw a little Buddhism in there that it's wrong. Because these are important spirits and people that led the world, bring them on in. So you don't have to, convert. It's really kind of blended. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And plus my family's been here since 1718, so there was a cultural connection as well, so that was important. Shall we?
Ready to paint? I'm not taping
ready.
you.
I'm ready to direct.
Right.